how do you forgive someone who caused you a lot of emotional pain?
Why do you want to forgive? Why don't you hold on to the grudge against them? Because you find it very uncomfortable, right? Do you want to suffer because of someone else did a mistake? No. So what is the best way for you out of this situation? Forget. Forgive. Only when you forgive, you can forget, right? Can you forget without forgiving? Not possible. So you are forgiving not for that person's sake, because you don't want to punish yourself. See, your anger is the punishment you give it to yourself for someone else's mistake. Every time you are angry, it only indicates you are punishing yourself because someone did a mistake. Today this person did a mistake, you are angry. Tomorrow that will do a mistake, you will be angry. Next day, third person will do some mistake. And people will keep doing blunders, and every time you're getting angry, who is at loss? It takes a big toll on your own nervous system, isn't it? So how to save your mind? How to save your nervous system? Let go of it. Know that it's ignorant people, they are doing that. Right? I would say bless them with wisdom. That's one step beyond forgiving. In forgiving, you think they are a culprit, and then you say, okay, you are a culprit, I forgive you. But if you see one step beyond, that culprit is also a victim of his or her own mindset, lack of understanding, lack of wisdom, lack of humanness, right? They are too selfish, even all these things is a disease. Lack of proper social behavior or etiquette, I would consider is not normal. So then you say, okay, bless them with a good mind. Right?
Is there such a thing as evil, like evil entities or evil agencies or evil that is against life?
Suppose I make a knot of this cloth. There is a knot. The knot is real, right? Is it real or unreal? One level, this is real. But the moment I release the knot, does it exist? Is darkness real or unreal? It appears to be real, but the moment light comes, where does the darkness go? Does it go somewhere? Because it is not an entity. Darkness is simply absence of light. So what we call as evil is only absence of goodness. When you are not facing the light, you find your shadow. Farther you go, the bigger the shadow becomes. And the moment you turn around or you bring light to your friend, is there shadow? No. Where did it go? Because it is not an entity, it has no existence, it doesn't go anywhere because it was never there. Similarly, evil is not a quantity, it's an entity. It is just absence of light. No, these drugs can give you an altered state, but then they damage our system. They damage the brain. I see people who have used drugs, they don't look so blissful. They may have had an alternate state, but when the moment you come out of it, or even in that state, they are not in a state of ecstasy, not in joy, or not in a state of contentment. That is what worries me. It just is destroying a person's ability to function normally in the world. So I would say, keep away from that. Meditation can uplift you, keep your energy high, aids in healthy body-mind relationship. It helps to revitalize your organs, brings more antioxidants in your body. So it has many, many health benefits. This is life-supporting, whereas drugs, I see, is more destructive. Maybe you think you know yourself, not knowing who you are. Wrong understanding about yourself, your abilities, notion of who you are. Or you have heard from many people saying, you are no good, you are no good, you are no good. So you have become a football of someone else's opinion. That also.
Gurudev, if you could please help me be more authentic. How can I tell if something is authentic in me versus the result of habits or impressions?
Authenticity is just a nature of our consciousness, that's all. You feel integrated, you feel firm about something, then you say, this is authentic. Right? On one hand, if you see, everything is authentic. Someone is lying, they are authentically lying. Or on the other hand, what you consider authentic in a localized sphere, from a broader perspective, it may not be authentic. Theory of relativity. Here everything is relative, and what you call it is authentic, isn't it?
I want to make the journey from the head to the
Head
heart.
to heart.
What can I do to make that journey more fruitful?
No effort. This journey happens when you relax. If you try to do something, you will go in the opposite direction. If you relax, you get back to your innocent self. Do you see what I'm saying? Effort is counterproductive here. Oh, I want to get into my heart, I want to make my journey from head to heart. No. One thing could be, you can say, oh, well, I'm so foolish. If you think you are full of wisdom, you can't make the journey. But when you realize your shortcomings, you are foolish, and you know nothing, and what you don't know is a lot, the journey has begun already. So, journey is from an ugly I don't know to a beautiful I don't know. See, ugly I don't know comes when you are frustrated. I don't know. Don't ask me, I don't know. That's a frustrated mind saying. But a scientific mind or well-read and highly evolved mind says, well, I don't know.
What about the times when bad times and negative times in one's life just don't seem to be ending? You're doing everything right, you're meeting the right people, you try to have a positive mindset. You wake up in the morning and you're like, I meditated, I did my Kriya, I'm going to have a positive mindset, and bam, something goes wrong. And it just keeps on repeating and repeating and repeating, and you feel like is there a light at the end of the tunnel? What about that?
See, you always get some respite from the negative things. Otherwise, you don't even feel the negative. You get so used to it. You say, that's how things are. If you are being bombarded with the negativity constantly, you become so immune to it, right? It doesn't bother you anymore. When does it bother? When you get a respite from it. And then again it comes. Then we should know, see what comes, that goes. So if something has happened, unpleasant comes, it goes. And that is the real maturity in life. You see, you can't complain, it's cold in December in DC. You see, some people can keep complaining their whole life, but that's not a wise thing to do. You simply accept that. I heard there is a recent research which says 85% of the worries we have never happens. That 15%, you are able to manage it very well. And you are left with only 3% of worries. So what is the point in worrying? Your fears are unfounded. 90% you are able to manage, and 3% that's a rare occasion that you get stuck. And then I tell you, if you are meditating, if you have a clean heart, a pure heart, good intention, you would not even have this. And then when you have some difficulties, you will get some help. Somehow, from somewhere, you get the help. How many of you had this experience? Tell me. You are getting all the help, and your worries are completely obsolete, or rather, doesn't make any sense. Then why we keep worrying? That's my question. So you need to, for some time, remove all this and keep it aside. Well, you may say, well, Gurudev, you say that it's easy, it sounds very nice, but what do we do? I keep worrying about paying my bills, I keep worrying about my relationship and my finances, my marriage, my health, and blah, 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 blah. These worries come. Nobody wants them, still they come. I have another option for you. If you want to worry at all, then worry big. Worry about the planet if you think you have to worry. Expand your worries. When you expand your worries, then also it doesn't bother you so much. When you think about the bigger picture, your worry appears to be quite smaller. I said, well, I'll see, I'll manage, let me see what I can do. That confidence simply comes from within you. Hasn't this happened? Huh? Same way, if you're just worrying about yourself, then you know, oh, everybody is having. So if you're worried about your flu, then you say, oh, everyone is getting flu. When everybody is getting a flu, then you don't worry so much. So everyone got it. And at least sometime, I would say, you should have the ability to just remove it and keep it aside. Then meditation happens. All the plannings that you are having the whole day just heats up the brain. It needs some cooling time too, It needs to cool down. Say, okay, I'm going to just drop. I'm not saying you should never plan, be blank and just stare in the sky. This is not what I'm saying. You plan, you do all that. See, when you go out, you put on the shoes. But you don't go to your shower with your shoes on. Right? You don't lie down with your shoes on. You remove it. Similarly, take those few moments when you reflect on your whole life. What's my life? What's the meaning? What am I doing? Okay, I get this, I want to achieve this, I'll achieve. Okay, do all that. But then, one day the curtain is going to come down. So what do I want? If you just put a little attention on that, you get into a space where you find yourself in such freedom and such strength and such elevation. Do you know the Nobel Prize for Physics this year went to someone, you know what they said? The world is not real. How many of you didn't know this? Raise your hand, I want to know. The world as we see is not real. Real in the sense, it is not stagnant. The definition of truth is that it doesn't change. Anything that keeps changing is unreal. Our world is what? Our mind. Our mind is what? Our thoughts. Our thoughts is all about our opinions, our impressions in the mind, our memories. This is what we have been saying from long time. Isn't it? Suddenly all questions disappear, right?